Very good, Jenny. I like that position.
Notice at the beginning of the swing, we cannot see the white part of your right pocket. Now we can, which demonstrates that you are turning your hips with the swing. Very good.
So you're working on that lower body starting the downswing.
As you get to the ninth position right there, you have a nice extension. You're off your back foot. Very good position.
Good.
Ginny, as you focus on your lower body, starting the downswing, you're going to see a much improved movement. You're going to see your back leg and particularly the back foot. Watch that back foot come off the ground right there. So that's much improved. Very good. Good extension right there. Right side is moving through the ball. Very good. Nice high finish. I really like that finish.
Try not to sway too much. Stay on that. Stay pretty much even on your feet. Don't rock so much to the right.
As you take this practice swing, I want you to look at your head in relationship to that tree in the background. And you're going to see your head move significantly to the right. Now, I know this is just a practice swing. You're just kind of getting loose here. But you still want to build in good movements even with your practice swing. And you sway a little bit too much sometimes. When you move this far to the right in your backswing, it makes it very difficult to get enough weight on your left foot before impact. And you've got to get your weight in front of the golf ball in order to effectively hit the ball before you hit the ground. One comment on the follow, when you lose your balance on the end, when you take that practice swing, go ahead and let your arms swing past your head into a normal finish. If you freeze your hands out in front of your body, that will pull you forward and cause you to lose your balance and cause most people to lose their balance. So, but if you continue those arms around in the circle so that those arms are above your hips, then you won't lose your balance.
Flare the left foot just a little. And so just hear that sound. Now, release, throw that club head right in hard and fast.
On tee box 3, we were working on a new move of trying to just really swish that club head and throw that club head past your hands so that that rehinge will occur naturally. On the right is the driver you hit on tee box 2, and on the left is the practice swing on tee box 3. So let's compare those two. Freeze both swings just prior to the ninth position being when the right arm is parallel to the ground. But there are a couple of differences at this point that I want to focus on. First is the knees. On the left, you have turned your right side a little bit more, and that right knee is a little closer to your left leg than the swing on the right. So the swing on the left is indicating a better lower body action. When we look at the hands, I'm seeing a much better release of the hands. I can easily see the fingers of your left hand underneath the right wrist, which indicates a nice relaxed release of the club. When you look at the shaft of the two swings, you can see how on the left you have you're starting to rehinge that that shaft up above your wrist. You have a negative shaft position on the right. And so the club head is moving faster on the left around the circle. And the swing on the right, that club head is dragging a little bit. When we advance the swing a couple more frames, we can see that shaft continue to hinge upward on the left. And with the swing on the right, you have no rehinge occurring at this time. That shaft is even with your right arm. When we compare your swing on the left to Lydia Ko, you can see the difference in that Lydia is rehinging the club head above her right arm. And so her wrists are hinging upward at that point in the swing, and yours is still, there is no rehinge occurring at this time. This is your practice swing on tee box 3 where you have the rehinge. The point I want to make is I'm not asking you to try to swing like the pros or swing like Lydia Ko. What you want to work on is how to swing like you swing on the left. Now let's look at the swing as it continues up to the follow through. The swing on the right has now completed its follow through. And the swing on the left has now completed its follow through. Look how much further your swing completed on the left. Look how much more you've turned your shoulders with the swing on the left. Now let's look at the ball swing off of tee box number 3 and compare it to the practice swing on tee box 3. Now in the 9th position, even though we don't see as good a release with your ball swing on tee box 3 as compared to the practice swing on tee box 3, it is much better than what you had on tee box 2. And your completed swing on the tee box 3 with the ball was better than on tee box 2. Still isn't as good as your practice swing on tee box 3. When you try to create a swish with that club and throw that club head past your hands and rehinge it up in the air with like you do with your practice swing on the left, it creates this rotation of the upper body and the shoulders. You can see how your right shoulder is pointing to the target. Not only is your upper body more complete with its rotation, look at the lower body. That right pocket is right on top of that foot. You have a much stronger hip rotation as well. So we want to continue working on developing the swing on the left. I am confident that the swing on the left will give you more distance and will not sacrifice too much consistency. You may miss a few more fairways, but the net balance will be better. Now for right now, I want these new swing thoughts of throwing and swishing and rehinging to be mostly for your driver work. I don't want you to have those swing thoughts right now for the ball that's on the ground. Now your best fairway swing will incorporate some of these moves, but we need to be careful not to overdo it. With the driver, we want maximum power, and with the fairway shots, we want maximum control. When we look at your ball position on tee box number 4, you can see how far back in your stance it has gotten. We had been moving it more forward, but you have reverted back a little bit to your old ball position. And what that does is promote a downward hit on the drive, and you want to have a more upward hit on the drive. You can see how Lydia has her ball position off her left foot, and you're closer to the center of your stance. So, and her shaft, her hands are kind of behind the golf ball, which promotes an upward hit, indicating by the blue arrow. And so we want to adjust your setup so that that ball is more forward so that you can hit up on it. I went back and looked at the driver swing on hole number 3, where you had a practice swing on the left and your ball swing on the right. I've marked a red circle on the driver head just before impact. This is the moment just after impact. Now let's look at that driver go through that ball from before impact and after impact. Your attack angle with your ball swing is almost level, so you're not really swinging up or down. Now let's look at your practice swing on the left. With this swing, you're swinging up about 3 degrees. With a practice swing, you're not focusing on hitting anything. You're just swinging and letting the natural swish occur wherever it happens to occur. Where the swish occurs determines exactly at what point your club head is moving the fastest. Your swish will occur not in the middle of your stance, but more off your left side. When you tee the ball off your left side, not only are you going to hit the ball when your club is moving the fastest, you'll be hitting it on the upswing, giving you more distance. Practice swing on hole 6. Nice release, club head is above the right arm. Nice complete follow through, shaft further on your back, right hip up to your left leg. Ball swing on hole 6. Good extension and a small amount of rehinge. Not as complete a follow through as your practice swing. Right hip is coming up short and shoulders aren't pointing to the target. So Ginny, as we go forward with your swing, I want to focus on this driver swing and getting that more complete follow through more consistently when you're hitting the golf ball.